Hi everybody, my name's Lee Honish. Welcome to Fight Net Radio. This week we recorded for 3 hours this Sunday morning, and we've decided it's so much content that we could give you one very long episode that you can listen to off and on all week. But there's basically like 3 different sections of the show. So this is our Triple G Canelo trilogy fanboy moment, because there's a lot of stories about that, and it's mostly about Canelo like losing his shit and Triple G poking the bear. So we've decided to give you 3 episodes this week. We'll parse them out all week long. So the first thing I want to tell you, this first episode is about a quote that Canelo made that actually, I think he told TV Boxeo. He said, Triple G is a fucking asshole and I hate him, or something roughly to that effect. But you'll see it in the title or the description or whatever it is. Then in the second part, there is a whole clenbuterol rant that goes on for way too long and awkwardly, which kind of leads to the title of Eddie Reynoso should smell, and I don't know how Andrew got here. The second part is Eddie Reynoso should smell Canelo's shit, which was hilarious. And then in the third part, King Rai, who fought this past weekend, is a prospect, which might be the greatest Andrew Slam of all time. So those are your 3 parts. I'll put them out probably. You get this one, which covers Monday. Usually we try to get them out by Monday morning. So you'll have this one on Monday. I'll turn around and probably do the next one on Tuesday and the following one on Wednesday. Please share these. Please let other people know. If you want to go actually watch the video of me working with the boys and trying to put this together, you can go see it. This is going to be the same intro on the beginning of each one of these 3, but look in the title and make sure you got the right one. There will be part 1, part 2, part 3. Enjoy the trilogy of Canelo and Triple G, and we will see you guys next Sunday. Hi everyone, welcome to Fight Net Radio. My name's Lee Honish, and I am joined by Miguel Antonio Barragan and Andrew Lapachet. Good morning, gentlemen.
Good morning.
Hey, what up, Lee?
Hey everyone, this show is about boxing. Please visit our website, boxingtonight.io. There you can follow us on various forums. You can follow at Fight Fiend Miggs on both Instagram and YouTube. Hey, you can follow me on my new vlog page, which actually has a lot of out-of-the-box boxing content, and I put it in a folder for you. Just type in Lee Honish IO on YouTube. It's a brand new page. It's been up for 2 weeks. In fact, they're a proud sponsor of this week's show. Go to Lee Honish IO. I'll put out more content than Miggs.
Yeah, most likely, yes.
Most likely, yes. But we do have a website. Go to boxingtonight.io for all of your needs. And follow us on Facebook. That is really our daily home. We have 2 weeks of stories. We have so many stories that we're going to take a break in the middle so I can go get my groceries when they come up from the store. Andrew can go pee because he's probably guzzling coffee as we speak. We'll probably need to stretch. This is a marathon. This is 2 weeks of stories.
Did I just blow my nose on there?
Yeah, you did.
Yeah.
Fine.
Fuck. I had it on mute. Sorry, guys.
Solid. All right, let's jump into it. We've got a million stories today. Virgil Ortiz, I'm back. I'm better. I'm stronger. I'm 100% now. Was somebody looking for Virgil Ortiz, Miguel?
I didn't know he left.
I didn't know he left either.
I didn't know he was injured.
There are a bunch of stories this week where I'm like there's a random Mikey Garcia, hey, did you know I retired story? I'm like, no, I didn't. Like, this is the first I've heard of it. Like, what is it with boxers? Like, you were gone? Dude, you only fight like once a year anyway, so who really cares? Is Virgil Ortiz a factor, Miguel?
Well, I mean, in general, yes, of course, I'd definitely say he's a factor, right? But I mean, he's fighting in the next couple of weeks, I think it is. I forgot which. They mentioned it during the DAZN broadcast yesterday. I didn't take a look at the date specifically, but I mean, a factor in general, yes. I didn't know he was out for any extended period of time. This is news to me, but hey, I mean, I kind of figured he was going to be back anyway because he has a fight coming up nonetheless. But welcome back, I guess, would be the proper,
He's 100%
welcoming.
Now we're ready to go. We made some changes here and there. I will not on a boat. I will not on a goat. I will not throw a jab with green eggs and ham. Sam, I am. Shout out to Sam Navajero. Where did you go? Like, I'm back. I'm better. I'm stronger. I'm happy. I'm excited to be back in the ring. We just made some changes. here and there and everywhere. A yellow belly star snitch that he is. Wow, how many Dr. Seuss references can I get into one show? Not too much overall. I'm 100%, Andrew. We're ready to go.
Very nice.
Are you ready? Are you
Sounds
ready for
good,
him to be ready to go? Since he is the
Yeah,
number
it's
one
gonna be
ranked
scary.
welterweight by all three WBC, WBA, and WBO.
Listen, he's got 100% knockout ratio, you guys. It's a scary thing if he wasn't 100% already, right? So what is he going to be? What's he going to be when he's fine? And he's already knocked out every single guy he's ever faced. The opponent they have for him coming up in his next fight, we seen it last night. They were promoting the fight. 22-0 sounded good. 22-0-2, not so good when you're going up 100% knockout. So maybe this guy's is going to box the shit out of Ortiz, but with 2 knockouts out of 22 victories, I don't see him having the pop to keep him off. So it was like it was hot and cold really fast. I was like, ooh, 2 undefeateds. That's cool. Oh, one guy has 2 knockouts. Yeah, you ain't going to win this fight.
Yeah. No, he's not.
Yeah.
Is it?
And I just remembered he was hospitalized for some but does something some time ago. So I guess that's what he was referring to, that he's he's back and he's 100%. He was hospitalized and withdrew from one of his previous fights back in March, I think it was, because I knew he had withdrawn from that previous fight. I just forgot exactly why. But I guess now it makes sense what he's talking about. He's back and better because he had to withdraw from, I can't pronounce it. It's like 5 syllables, like Rampa does something.
Lambda, lambda, lambda?
Yeah, something like that.
And I made that reference today, too. Enjoy it. If you hear a quote today from a random movie, I'm almost back to 100% at this point. Is this an Oscar guy?
Yes, it is.
Yes.
I believe it.
Oscar's got himself a shot at getting all the welterweight titles. Look at him. Look at Oscar. How long are we going to keep him fighting nobodies? My favorite quote of this whole article, by the way.
Isn't he from Texas, too?
Yeah, and I thought they kept fighting him out in Texas, too.
So he has a great opportunity here to blow up, and he's in good fight state. They show up for their fighters, so he's undefeated. He should be a good one.
To quote Chris Rock, what a low expectation motherfucker. I would love to fight twice a year.
Oh, jeez. Okay.
Damn.
Is that what he was
Wait,
doing
let me
prior
quote
to
Chris
this
Rock
fight?
one more time. You low expectation having motherfucker. Like, twice? Bro. And you want all the belts?
Yeah,
Good
doesn't
for
Canelo
you.
fight more than that shit?
What do you want, a cookie? For 2 fights? Oh, wow. I've gotten Chris Rock quotes in now. We're killing it today. Oh, he's almost back to 100%. Reports, veteran ring announcer Joe Antoniacci charged with assault in Illinois. I like it when referees are charged with random acts of violence. Let's see what he did, shall we? According to a report filed with the city of Elmhurst, an unidentified 27-year-old male. He beat up a 27-year-old? All right, I'm already digging him already. 27-year-old male called authorities after he was approached by a motorist driving a Lexus on Illinois' Route 83 on April 29th. The aggressor, the referee, identified weeks later as Antoniacci, pulled over, exited the Lexus, and approached the vehicle. Please tell me he punched the window in. Please, 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 please. The version.
Oh, read it. It's pretty good.
Oh, I love the quote. And I'm sure the dude was a dick or cut him off or did something. He's a referee. I got to believe he's got somewhat of an even keel. But for him to, want to go beat somebody up, pussy, get out of the fucking car.
Yeah.
And by the way, all of you testosterone-driven males who think, yeah, I'm going to do that the next time. Yeah, no, you're not. Just shut up. Somebody will pull out a gun and shoot you in the face, and we've done those stories. We've watched it with actual boxers. They all get this shit of, get out of your car, pussy, I'm going to beat you up, while their kid's in the backseat, and then they get shot in a gas station. We've done that story
But
so many times.
There was a video just went viral this week of the young man in, I think, what was it, New Zealand, who got stabbed on camera. Did you guys see that one?
Oh, no. What happened there?
Yeah, he confronted a man with a knife with his face, and the guy poked him in the face, and he died right there.
While
Don't
we're
know
on
what
the
he was
topic,
thinking, but
how is that bodega
approached him
owner
twice.
going to jail?
Was it like road rage, or was it at a bar? What the fuck?
I think it's after a club 3-on-3, but one pulled the knife and the kid wouldn't back down. It was really weird, very sad situation. But yeah, don't put your face where a knife is. That's not going to end well.
How the hell is this bodega owner going, or bodega manager? I don't know if he owned the place. How's he going to jail for defending himself? Like, what's that all about? Like, how fucked up is the world that some dude can come behind the register, push and shove you around and menace you, corner you. You make a move, grab a knife, and pump him one in the side because you're fearful for your life. Guy dies. They arrest the bodega guy. This is all over the news for the past couple of weeks. I'm like, what the fuck?
Well, I think they got to detain him for like the time being so they can get the story straight. And then if once it turns out that it's self-defense, I'm sure they'll let him go.
Yeah, that's right.
They got
to
do an investigation first.
Because I am telling you, this is completely out of whack. Because basically what you're telling criminals, hey, go for it.
Well, yeah, but I mean, they're not going to let the home slice go back to his house and then be like, watch him actually be guilty, and then he just fucking flees to a different country or some shit. It's like, no, let's hold this dude real quick. Let's investigate, and then, if it comes out that the guy's innocent and it was self-defense, then, he goes home.
We'll see.
Yeah.
Back to Antoniacci. Police then visited Oakbrook Terrace residence of Antoniacci, who initially denied any knowledge of the case before confessing to his role in the incident. Good job, ref. Lie. According to the report, Antoniacci told authorities that the other driver flipped me off. Okay.
All right.
Extending his middle finger in the direction of the other party. Right. If you don't know, that's good.
Okay. If you don't know what flipping off means.
Yeah.
Thank you for the description.
Which he took a personal attack, which triggered his reaction. Really? That's what set you off, bro? Like, you know how many times I've been flipped off on my scooter by drivers who were just pissed that I was on a scooter? Like, they just drive by, slowly roll down their window, and flip me off because I'm on a scooter and not even bothering them. If I got into fights with everybody that I had, like in a regular 1-hour route on my scooter, I mean, it would literally look like a WWE event every time I took the scooter out. Which he took as a personal attack, which triggered his reaction. Jesus, dude. Anger management much?
Good Lord. I've been flipped off driving in California, and I don't even know what the hell I did.
Be a man and get out of the car. He also claims that the driver honked his horn at him and attempted to stop short in front of his Lexus while both were on Route 83. Antoniacci confessed to spitting on the other vehicle. The 61-year-old informed... I love this story. It's like I can't get enough. I'm going to be sad when this is over. I'll move on. I realize that I'm kind of basking in this story, and it makes me very happy. And welcome to the title of this week's show, which was going to be the title of last week's show. Yes, we were off last week. Canelo to Golovkin. Golovkin is a fucking asshole. I hate that motherfucker, which is the title of this week's show. Let's see why Canelo's going full bad guy. He's a fucking asshole, Canelo told TMZ. He's not honest. He pretends to be a good person and be different, but he's not. He takes a lot of shit. He talks a lot of shit about me. He'll say I respect him, his career, and the other part. He's an embarrassing boxer. He's embarrassing for Mexican boxing. I hate the motherfucker because of that. Okay. I'm 100% focused on his fight because it's a dangerous fight, Canelo said. But 100% looking forward to the second fight with Bivol. We're going to talk about it later on, but... the plan with Tommy Hearns, as it stands right now, is they're going to go through the Golovkin thing. Win, lose, or draw, he's going to fight Bivol as the next fight, and they're already working to put that together for a rematch. Like, he's obsessed with it. So I'll start with you, Andrew, this time. Is Gennady Golovkin a fucking asshole? And do you hate that motherfucker?
No. It's funny that he's using the word motherfucker again after he got so offended when Caleb Plant called him a motherfucker. He thought he went after him and attacked him. So now he's throwing it out again. Whatever. It's a good fight. We know these two don't like each other. So I like everything about this. I think that he's saying that because of Golovkin accusing him of being on steroids, right?
Yeah, and he brings there's another story later on from the Golovkin side. It'll be impossible to find it with all those. We'll get to it when we get to it. But he's like, dude's probably got like rage. He brings it up because I think he's got rage issues from certain chemicals that are going into his body at this point. Like, he flat out called it out this past week. Like, wow, that is dude, you're going to the glass hard on this one. Like that's rough. That is some serious rough activity.
And you diminish everything that Canelo has accomplished in his career, which really pisses off Canelo, a guy who's one of the last fighters, it seems, that kind of is trying to chase greatness. He does put on, he's tested himself, where other guys we know in this industry don't test themselves anymore, so it diminishes all of that. So yeah, that's why Canelo took that one personal, and this should be an interesting build up to the what is this, the fourth fight?
Third, fourth, whatever.
Third fight?
Yeah, I think it's a third. Yeah. Miguel, is Gennady Golovkin a fucking asshole? And do you hate that motherfucker?
I'm sure we're all fucking assholes to some degree or another.
I know I am.
It's just right. It's just rather we hide it or we keep it under control. Some people cannot. Some people can. At some point, when Golovkin first came to the U.S. and he started, gracing us with his presence on HBO, he was known as Good Boy, right? We called him Good Boy for a long time before Triple G became a thing. So he was Good Boy, Gennady Golovkin. He's not such a good boy anymore, right? At least not with his mouth. So I'm digging it. I do like. Overall, this fight, I mentioned it before, I'm not crazy about because I just don't see it being. I see it as being a lose-lose for Canelo, and I mentioned it before. But nonetheless, whatever, the fight's already signed, and we're gonna have it. So might as well just run with it. I am digging the extra, animosity.
Oh, it's
yes,
fun.
It does.
It's fun as hell watching these guys go completely batshit crazy. I didn't realize Canelo was so angry about taking the fight. Like, he actually seems genuinely pissed that he's got to wait to go back to Bivol and deal with what he's got to deal with Gennady. Like, he's pissed. Like, he's really angry.
Yeah, and I'm hoping
if I was
that
Golovkin, if I was Golovkin, I would bring in a doctor that. Do you know at one point when we're in the womb, the first thing built on us is the asshole? So that's, at one point, we're all assholes in life. Yeah, so Golovkin, he is an asshole, and we are all assholes.
And that was your biology moment for Fight Net Radio.
I seen it on a meme, so it's probably not true, you guys. So everyone don't, it's on the internet. It's probably not. I'm going to get a million emails now saying, "That's not true. You're so fucking stupid." So, no.
Doesn't matter. Nobody really comments on the show anyway, and I know there's a lot of people who listen. So, hey, send your emails to Andrew Lapachet. Enjoy. Yeah, it's fun. I'm digging the whole...
I like the animosity. It does, it always makes for an interesting fight, and especially between guys who previously have been very respectful towards one another, at least originally. And that little extra. I was kind of concerned at first, thinking that maybe Canelo was gonna overlook Triple G. Looking forward to the rematch with Bivol, but adding this to it, it's like, okay, he's paying more attention to the fight than before. So I'm kind of liking that part for sure, because I don't like I'd rather he not overlook this and and not being turning out his way because he overlooked Triple G. But now that there's this little extra added animosity, I'm down for it. The fight's gonna happen, even though I'm not crazy about it. But hey, why not? Let's add a little more spice to it and have a little more animosity to it. I'm down with that.
Well, and it doesn't feel fake, right? Like the PBC shit always feels fake. Like,
it does.
You guys are putting on a show. It's Broner. I pulled the Broner stories. Like, Broner's doing all the Broner shit. Look, dude, you're just getting paid to say stupid shit and get knocked out. Like, that's your job now. Like, that's your function for the PBC. And looking at his quotes, I don't even want to put them up. It's fake. I know it's fake now.
To be honest with you, though, they couldn't come out here and respect each other. No one would care about this fight. This is the only way they could do it. Now, it still feels natural because of what's being said between the two guys. But, I mean, if these guys came out and were like, "Oh, I respect him and he respects me and we're going to have a great boxing match," no one buys this thing, man. These fighters are not as hot as they were when these fights first took place. What is it now? 5 years ago? It's
still going to do 1 million views.
What's that?
1 million people are going to watch this fight, period.
Maybe globally, but not in America by itself. No, I wouldn't say that. They've actually never really released Canelo's numbers in the United States. They always talk about his streaming numbers, which is good. It's a streaming app. They can, lay heavy on that, but they never release what he does actually in America. So I think they had to go with it on this fight. I will say I'm a little upset that he's announcing the Bivol rematch so early.
It was more
really
Tommy. More Tommy Hearns, but clearly Canelo's. He's done a couple of stories where he's talked about wanting Bivol. Tommy Hearns, pretty much. I didn't put the story. I don't know if it's in here, but yeah, that's their plan. That's his next fight.
He should think about. I mean, because he takes a defeat against Golovkin. This thing is just totally off the tracks. His career, it's not done, but it's we don't know where Canelo's at.
If I was Bivol, I'd still take the fight even if he lost. And kick his ass again.
We're talking about, but see, Lee, with the numbers that they make, they got to bring a profit back, right?
No,
Canelo
it's the
takes
zone
2
streaming.
defeats.
Like, aren't these all going to be free? Even this fight, this is on free. They're going to pay per view.
No, they're not.
They totally abandoned the whole damn notion of no pay-per-views, and they're gonna go. DAZN is gonna go with this pay-per-view, and they're gonna go with some other KSI fucking pay-per-view later down the line as well. But no, this one's supposed to be pay-per-view.
I'm not interested in these as pay-per-views. I'm very interested in seeing him take on the PBC stable, though. That is something that has been building for years. You know, I know we're coming up with it later, but there's stories of big fights happening now between the PBC and outside fighters.
No, they're really not. And in fact, all the guys are saying that nobody wants to deal with Heyman. Like, everybody's over the Al Heyman experiment.
Stop it. Anyways, what was I just saying?
You're interested in Canelo.
PBC versus the world. Actually, this might have been the title of today's show.
Coming up later.
Yeah.
No, they'll come up.
Yeah. So why would Canelo fight these European guys that no one gives a shit about? Seriously, no one cares about Bivol.
Even is a Mexican-style boxer from Santa Monica, who just happens to be from Kazakhstan.
And the fight just happens to be a few years overdue. So we'll see how they do on pay-per-view. We'll see what the numbers are for this fight. But Bivol rematch and even Better Beef, those are not more interesting, in my opinion, than what he has right now with the Charlo and with the Benavidez, especially Benavidez. It seems like Benavidez, ever since he got that Mike Tyson interview, he really blew up on as far as now this guy that can go for Canelo. I just don't know why they wouldn't want to do those 2 fights. If everyone says, you know, the Bivol thing, that he was out of his weight class. If he goes up there and loses again, how stupid of his management team to make him do that again when clearly on fucking camera you can see he's not a light heavyweight. He's barely a super middleweight. It's a bad decision if they go up there and lose again to a basic good bigger man. Bivol to me is he's a good fighter, but he was just bigger that night. He was able to absorb his punches, and Canelo wasn't. Eventually, Bivol's bigger shots started wearing Canelo down.
Bivol is literally Drago.
But there was
He's
no
a machine.
special.
Bivol is a well-oiled machine who sticks to the fundamentals.
He knows his fundamentals. He takes the shot and he delivers his back. That's fine. He loses that type of fight again, he fucking just dumb. And then, you know what? Haven't liked Eddie Hearn in a while here. Now, I was real big on DAZN when it first started. Backpedaled a lot on this company. What a stupid ass move if they make Canelo fight Bivol and he loses another decision the way he did his last fight.
I'm kind of concerned that he has like too many yes people around him. Like once he left, like De La Hoya's staple.
The pajamas look good, bro.
It's just like, you know, they basically let him run the show. You know what I'm saying? And which I mean, to some degree, it paid off. You know, because he went after, you know, the PBC. Well, I guess Caleb in particular, but you know, with his fight at super middleweights and unifying the division, so it has paid off to some degree. But like now, we're starting to see the long term effects of like, hold on, dude. You know, there needs to be somebody here, and you know, we get on Oscar's case a lot for you know, protecting some of his fighters.
And we will shortly.
There's a formula behind it, right?
Oscar was very active this week.
Right, and there's a formula behind it, and it works. You know, to some degree, we understand it. It's like, no, it's not to your benefit, bro, to go back up to fucking light heavyweight. Nobody's telling Canelo this, and it's basically just allowing him to do whatever the fuck he wants to do, which again did pay off back then. But now it's like, all right, there has to be somebody that puts their foot down and be like, no, dude, you can't do that shit. It's not gonna be good for you. So I think at this point, including, you know, Tommy Hearn himself, he's also a yes man around Canelo, basically. So
that's what he is.
That's pretty much what he's become, and that's kind of what we're saying mean, because the fact that he's still talking about Bivol, it's like, bro, forget about Bivol. Clearly,
he's got it on the brain. Like,
yeah,
that's literally his.
And there's just nobody telling him no at this
cannot
point. So
deal
he's got
with.
too many yes people around him.
Well, I'm gonna.
Now, my question
Yes.
is, Bivol, is he top rank or DAZN?
DAZN, I believe.
Well, DAZN, as I recall,
He's
I
actually
think
got a
it better
promoter.
be
He was.
better be
Well,
of
hold
his-
on. He
his
was.
top rank.
He was MTK before they went out of business, right? But Eddie's got the promotional contract. He's actually got a real manager.
All right, so Canelo needs to be. Hey, he needs to be a little bit nervous that he's not he's not playing both sides of the fence with these two, right? Because if he really fights for DAZN, yeah, maybe that's why he doesn't want to get it out of Canelo's ear that he shouldn't be fighting him. I mean, he's about to make that young man, a 2-time winner over Canelo going into potentially a better beef matchup. So yeah, I guess there's other things that play factor into this, but if Bivol's really got assigned with Eddie Hearn, I don't expect Eddie Hearn to be the one that tries to call this fight off. It's a win-win for him.
Yes. All right, moving forward. We've made it through 3 stories in the first half hour. This is a marathon show. Canelo on animosity towards Golovkin. He said I was dishonest and a cheater. Well, technically, bro, you were. I mean, you were. And you tried to blame it on Mexican cattle. Like, dude, you got a bad knee. You shot steroids. You got caught. Like, I don't even know what the debate is here. Clenbuterol. There's my drug of choice. And by the way, shout out to the clenbuterol manufacturers. What a great drug. Could you get the speedy aspects of it down? Because it makes it real jittery when you cycle up on that shit. It's really rough. Come on, I told you, it's not meat. Golovkin told reporters on 2018. Canelo's teams are using these drugs. Everybody's trying to pretend it's not happening. This guy, he knows this is not the first day in boxing. He proves he gets his benefits from everyone, and he can get away with that. The commentators, the commission, doping commission, this is a very bad business. It is, and clenbuterol is awesome. Approved by 2 out of 3 people on this show. Mm-hmm. Have you started to cycle yet, Miguel?
I started and I stopped.
It's really hard.
But when it kicks in, oh man.
Holy crap. How do those guys train on that?
Now listen, to Canelo's, to part of Canelo's defense, I got two stories here.
Do you think it's cattle?
Okay, from that, there were multiple stories out of Mexico that soccer players were coming up dirty. This was their excuse for testing dirty. My biggest defense for Canelo was when at the time the Oakland Raiders went to go play in Mexico City. When that game took place years ago, they released letters to the NFL players warning them not to eat the beef from the restaurants, the hotel. The NFL, I believe, actually flew in their own chefs, their own food, and because they knew the meat was contaminated, and they said you can test dirty. So Canelo has that going for him. What is not excusable is the time that Canelo gets popped. He's one of the richest athletes in the sport. He's a face of boxing. When you're that big and you make that much money, you probably should be bringing in your own beef. You probably should be bringing in your own chefs. You shouldn't be trusting places that we know that he should have known have contaminated meat. He did. He got caught. That's his bad. But there is a flip side that it does not mean fucking Reynoso was pumping them inside of the locker room. Just means he was being a little bit,
pills, Andrew.
Careless.
Could have been the meat that could
it's
get
so
him.
simple to take them.
Careless. There you go. Yes, sir.
You just run it through. You run cycles through your training camp. Then you cycle right off. Cuts all the weight. It's an amazing drug. It's just got shitty side effects. Oof. Shitty side effects. There you go.
And a lot of people, and the one thing I do want to say, a lot of people put some blame on the Reynosos because they were butchers. Like that means they could just look at a piece of meat and be like, oh yeah, it's contaminated. That's not how it fucking works, people. That's not how. You know what I'm saying? It's like, oh, this is got.
No, they have to put their hands on it,
Yeah.
look to the heavens,
right?
and their
They
eyes
like
roll into the back of their head, and they go, tainted
which
meat.
way the wind is blowing, and be like, oh yeah, it's contaminated. We should eat this. Like, no, that's not how it fucking works, people.
That's
Come on.
not how it works.
Remember that movie with Eddie Murphy? What was it, Lee? The Golden Child?
Yeah.
When the monks put the turd They put the turds in the pot and they're all, he needs more meat. He needs more meat. That's what they got to do, Canelo. They got to smell his shit, probably.
Wow. Reynoso, go smell his shit. Wow. I don't know if I want to change the name of the show to, hey, Reynoso, go smell Canelo's shit.
Yeah, make sure he's clean for the third fight.
Wow. I mean, I've already actually done all the graphic artwork for this week's show because I really do like the he's a fucking asshole thing. But Andrew might have hit on the greatest title for this show ever. Like, I got to write it down. Jeez, Andrew, that was a winner.
Not that great. That's not that great.
That's a good title for a show. Hold on. Reynoso. How do we not have
now? If you put Reynoso's head on the monk,
oh no, I'm going. No.
Then...
I'm gonna have him smelling Canelo's butt. I'm gonna do graphics like that. Reynoso, go smell Canelo's shit.
On the spot editing.
Oh my God, I'm willing to do the graphics on that. That's hilarious. Way to go, Andrew. I think you had the home run for today. Frank Warren. Interested in exploring Deontay Wilder versus Joe Joyce. All right, look. I guess we're going to put an end to the Joe Joyce experience by just letting him go to the top of the food chain. I mean, I realize he's ranked number 1 in a couple of the divisions. He's probably one of the more up-and-coming prospects that are interesting, but he has done nothing in the ring to make me feel impressed about him. Like, you get in the ring with a Deontay Wilder, you're going to get hit. In fact, there's a story from this week, and I don't want to jump ahead, but Tyson Fury goes, oh no, I don't want to fight Deontay anymore. Like, he hits really hard. Like, he hits really, really hard. Like, it's one of the reasons why I retired. Like, he was very open about it. He goes, no, Deontay hits real hard. Joe Joyce has never seen anything like that. I'm not even sure he could take a Luis Ortiz heavyweight shot. Like, I have not seen him take a legit shot, and I've watched him with Parker. I've watched him in all these fights. He gets worked, and the dude gets hit. Deontay's going to hit you, bro. Like, Frank Warren is just cashing out on Joe Joyce while he's got the number 1. Tell me I'm wrong, Miguel.
Well, it's kind of time for him to cash out on him because Joe Joyce is 36 at this point, so he really doesn't have that much time left. I mean, granted, he's got far fewer miles on the odometer, so it's not like he's a regular 36-year-old in boxing terms, right? That he's been through some wars because he hasn't. So to some degree, yeah, maybe it's good that he hasn't fought guys like fucking Wilder because then he would have taken a lot more punishment. But I mean. In reality, there's not like many people that have that kind of power anyway, so it's not like he's going to be facing too many of those guys to begin with. But at this point, why not? He's 36. How many more fucking years does he have here? I think his last decision victory was like a few years ago. Pretty much everything else had been KOs. So it's like, all right, he was built very well. That he was developed very well. He's got an extended amateur pedigree. So yeah, at this point, it's kind of like you better fucking throw him in there already because like when are they gonna pull a trigger on him? This is becoming a fucking Munguia type thing. It's like, all right, he's getting older. I mean, I get Munguia's younger. So
I don't think it's a bad move by Warren. I mean, clearly Frank Warren's allegiances lie with Tyson Fury. They lie with the people that he actually manages. And clearly he was building Joe Joyce to get beat the F up by Tyson Fury, but it's not going to generate any money. Nobody's paying money to watch Tyson Fury versus Joe Joyce. Nobody.
Well, when you put in Joe Joyce against guys like that Christian Hammer guy that he fought last time, that looked like a fat fucking slob in there and basically got smoked in a few rounds. It's like it doesn't really pique people's interest when you see one dude looking great and another guy looking like shit. It's not like it's like, oh, he fought top guys, so now we're interested in seeing him fight other good top guys like Wilder and whatnot. But I mean, at this point, they need to throw him into the deep end already.
Andrew.
Yeah, I totally agree. 36 years old. He's undefeated, 14-0-13.
Gotta go. Put the kids in the car. It's time to go, kid. We're going.
And look, the fight wouldn't do good across over here, right? Won't do good. But over there, he's from the UK. He's a former Olympian. He has a huge win over another. Wasn't him versus Dubois? Weren't those both like former Olympians going up against each other? I know they were both undefeated, but that was like a huge fight for like the prospects of the UK, and he knocks him out He's the older guy. He knocks out the younger DeBow, who is coming up in the heavyweight ranks. Really stops his momentum in the heavyweight division. He's taken on Carlos Takam and Christian Hammer. Well, we agree that Hammer did not look in shape. His name is still holds something, right? That it's still a journeyman fighter, a gatekeeper that he defeated there pretty easily. Takam, Hammer, Stervine, and Jennings. These are 4 good guys. Then you have the prospect of Bo. You're 36. What the fuck?
Yeah, but I think at the level he's at, Andrew, it's got to be like a Luis Ortiz. Deontay Wilder's the deep end of the swimming pool. I
totally agree. No, I totally agree. You move them up, but they still get
like any of those. Kaunaki, like you got to fight at that level first, bro. Like you're jumping. If Frank Warren literally signs him up to be executed by Deontay, Deontay's going to hit him.
Hey, did we all nail it on Deontay's return? Is Deontay return in the news? Because this is a good,
not officially. He's not in camp. It's not official. He's still doing ayahuasca. Andrew.
Oh, it's official. Gosh darn it. You always say that. It's official. This one's official, dude. He's going to fight Helenius, bro.
Yeah, I know. I think it comes up later on. I don't want to jump ahead. We've got 2 weeks of stories. Ryan Garcia, okay, I need Gervonta Davis for a mega fight. I don't have ego to admit that. Well, thank God. You know how gutsy it is for a fighter to go, no, I need the dude. Like, I got no ego on the topic. Like, that dude sells tickets. I need that. This is oddly so refreshing out of an asshole. And I'm going to say it, Ryan Garcia, if you're listening to the show, or friends of his, let him know. He's an asshole. He has been. He doesn't handle his shit well. Oscar's literally been sucking his dick since day one. He's
got a great trainer, though, now. He's got a great trainer. He's got a. Joe
Goosen
is
will
going to
make him a man. Goosen will make you a man. Right. You will either drop dead or be a man by the time you're done. Like, look, we all know this about everybody who's gone through.
James Toney.
James Toney is a legit asshole. Okay?
Yep.
What happens when you go through the Goosen camp? You get humbled,
fierce
bro.
Fighters.
You get trained. There's no joke in Goosen world. I'm really intrigued by this. Like, I would actually be down. Don't quote me because I don't pay per pay-per-views. But I would consider buying a Gervonta Davis Ryan Garcia. I'd go to the fight for sure. Like, I'd track that down if it were in Vegas. I mean, I'd make a serious play on trying to get to the fight. That's a good fight, Andrew.
It's an excellent fight. Look, I don't know if it's the fight that proves the face of boxing.
No, but it gets rid of this middle and the mud. Like, these guys aren't elevating to the next level. All right, then fight each other. Like, everybody step up and get it over with. And then go after your titles or do whatever the fuck it is you're going to do. But this whole bullshit of fighting nobodies, and we're going to talk about Ryan Garcia later on with his fight last night. Dude, you're fighting nobody. I mean, I'm not trying to be a dick, and I'm not trying to jump ahead to our final. I watched it, okay? You haven't proved shit to me. Like, Gervonta would kill you based on what I've seen. Now, can Goosen fix that, Andrew?
Yeah, well, listen, I'm not going to jump ahead of the fight. I'm just going to talk about tanking him. Look, I think there's a lot of fighters out there that are watching the Tank Davis tapes and want a piece of this guy.
Yeah, he's wide open. He's wide open.
He's wide open. He tries to walk through everything. That's why his name's Tank. And you know what? I wanted to say the Juggernaut. Joe Joyce, that's a great nickname for him because that's what he is too. And I'll get back onto the other fight. But both of these guys are nicknamed great. The Juggernaut, slow, kind of just breaks down walls, crushes you, squeezes you. That's Joe Joyce, man. He reminds me of George Foreman, a young George Foreman so much. The way his punches don't look fast, but they're heavy. They hit hard. Going back to Tank, dude, the Leo Santa Cruz fight showed me everything I needed to know. I always questioned Tank. I always was like, man, why does he talk the way he does? Why does he do it? They were putting him in with scrubs. He was knocking these dudes out hella easy. The night he fought Leo Santa Cruz, it's like, oh, okay, this is what's going on. This dude got no defense. He just bing, 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 everything off the fucking head.
He's a lightweight Rocky Marciano is what he is.
Yeah.
He fights like Rocky Marciano. Rocky Marciano was not a great fighter. He just was able to take a punch really good. Spectacular.
Get on the inside and knock you out. He's a tank. Hey, listen, you know how many boxers want a piece of that? Did you see how fast and how good the kid Ryan punches from the outside? Oh no, I think there's a lot of guys that want Tank Davis. All this, they're promoting him. Maybe he's hot. I don't know that he sells out every fight. His numbers on TV aren't that great, but he sells out every fight. Yeah, I'd want to. If I was a professional fighter like Ryan Garcia, that's my number one target too. That should be everyone's number one target. It's not going to say it's an easy fight because the kid has tremendous power, but you're definitely going to hit him. You're not going to miss Gervonta Davis.
Andrew, is Junior ready? Can we escalate him to this level already?
No.
Not yet. Not yet. We don't want to throw him into the. We're not going full Costa Zoo here and putting him into the deep end.
Hear that, Gertie, on the show.
I'm going to say it right now. If Andrew's son fights, trust me when we get to 9-0, because we'll talk about him every week. We're going to pump the kid through the roof. But when he gets to 9-0 with like 9 KOs over cans, I'm going to go full Costa Zoo. Dude, we need a title. Like,
we're going to get the red headbands. We're going to get the red Travis headbands.
Screw that. Miguel, what do you think? Is Ryan Garcia, does he need Gervonta Davis to justify his existence? To quote the Counting Crows, I need to justify myself because I'm just not coming through. Right. You're an asshole. And you think your social media following's a big deal. No, they're not. If you're saying you need Gervonta Davis, he's the pill, to quote the Counting Crows, he's the pill to ease the pain of all the stupid things you've done.
Jeez. All right.
It's a great line.
That's deep.
And it's true. He needs the Gervonta Davis fight to justify himself.
Well, you know, I to some degree, like, I agree, but to some degree, I kind of don't. Like, he's gotten this far by not fighting guys like Gervonta Davis, so clearly there's a formula in place that works to some degree, right? Granted, it has only brought him to this point. He's going to need that rival. Every fucking fighter needs that. You're going to need your rival. You're going to have, you know, the Manny Pacquiaos and the Mayweathers and the, you know, the Alis and Frasers and whatnot, right? You're going to have that rival. And at this point, the fact that he hasn't fought any of the other, you know, big names at lightweight, and he made it this far as popularity goes, you know, clearly there's a formula in place. But to break through to the next stage, to the next level, to that superstardom, yes, he's gonna have to fight somebody like Tank or someone else for that matter, but somebody at that level is my point. So the fact that he has, and by the way, again, he says, I don't have an ego to admit that. Yes, we all do have an ego. Come on, dude, we're dudes. Of course we're going to have an ego. But same like before, just like being an assholes and dickheads, we just got to keep it under wraps, right? Because ego isn't necessarily a bad thing. People tend to look at it like it's some fucking bad thing. It's like, no, it helps motivation, it helps drive, it helps a lot of other things. So if you got an ego, fucking go with it. You know what I'm saying? Like, triple down on it, whatever. But I like the fact that he's admitting that, because yes, I do think to break through, you're gonna have to have those keystone victories in your career, you know. And last night, which we'll get to in a second, or a little bit later on, I guess, you know, his fight with Fortuna, it showed that he's taken that next step. It's like, all right, yes, that next step is gonna be someone like Davis or some other big name that's gonna, you know, break through to superstardom. I'm digging that attitude of saying, like, yes, I need someone like that. He understands that you're gonna need a rival to get to that fucking top. You know, Canelo did need Triple G as many times as I'm sure he doesn't want to admit it. He needed guys like Triple G.
Oh, it elevated him completely.
It had to, you know, because it takes you to another level, and you can't do that by fucking fighting guys like, you know, no names, you know. I mean,
Caleb Plant is not going to define you as a person.
Yeah, exactly. So I'm digging it. I like it. Yes, I definitely do think, and by that same token, yes, Tank does need somebody like Ryan as well. Again, you need that rival.
Well, I'd go a step further. Go ahead, Andrew.
You mean in the 9th round when Caleb was asking Canelo if he boxed good, wasn't pushing Canelo to be all he could? All right.
No.
Damn it.
No. And Canelo
good, bro?
posted into all of his titles until he ran
you
into
can fight. You can box. You can box, man.
I'm going to quote a movie.
You can box.
Welcome to our newest game show. Name the movie. Name the character who's getting the advice for the boxing advice. I'm not going to give any time or background. I think you'll both get it. But this was from a boxing movie, and the line was, "Son, you haven't gone into the deep water. Like, you've never had somebody on you. Like, you feel like you're drowning." That's the Ryan Garcia story, by the way. Nobody's taking him deep water to see what kind of guts the kid has.
Oh, man, you guys got to stop with that. Wait, the kid was knocked down by a former champ, former Olympian, guy who went 12 rounds with Lomachenko, gets up and knocked his ass out, too. Hey,
By the way,
Campbell,
we didn't finish the game, and I'm sure Miguel got it right. What movie was it?
Oh, shit. I don't know.
Rocky Balboa.
Yeah.
The advice from
it,
the
Rocky
old
Balboa.
trainer to Mason Dixon, who had moved over to like the flashy promoter and trainer.
I like how
that's the
Antonio
new one.
was the only one.
Mason
I
the
like how
Lion
Antonio
Dixon.
was the only
What
one that
a
posted
name.
about that movie.
Holy shit. I don't know if that's racist or not. You called him Mason, like Rocky, like Stallone, what are you doing? Like I don't think you could call a character in today's market Mason the Lion Dixon. Like that's crazy. Like you literally took that redneck term and slapped it on a black dude. Good for you. I mean, I guess you have no shame. No, he hasn't gone deep water, Andrew. I haven't seen no guts out of this kid yet. I think Goosen will find it for him. I mean, he's made it very clear that Goosen's got one thing in mind, which is more defense. You already throw enough punches. He lives up to the Goosen standard of, I need you to throw 200 punches around.
He's giving him a right hand. We know that. The right hand, it was big last night, and he wasn't just about a left hook last night. Another thing I love is the one.
Javier.
Hey,
go
the
fight
140
Gervonta.
move.
Give me a call after Gervonta. I'd actually pay for the fight. I would.
Another brilliant thing by De La Hoya, Goosen. I don't know who made this call, but taking him to 140 and telling Gervonta to meet him there. Gervonta can't say he's running. You just fought at 140. What, twice? Did he fight there twice? Were both of his last fights at 140 or just the Barrios kick?
I don't remember his fight with fucking, what's his name, Isaac Cruz. I don't remember if that was that lightweight or not. But when he fought Barrios, I do believe that was at 140. Yeah.
How much of a cut is it for him? What's he walking around at? What do you think he's walking at?
Well, he's a tank, so clearly the dude's thick.
He must be walking at about $150.
Uh-huh.
Like his day-to-day life of on the mean streets.
Well, you know what? He gets a little chubby. You know, like there's been a couple of times where they've, did these like funny memes of him looking like a Cabbage Patch Kid. So I would not be surprised that the dude gets up to 160, man.
I can't remember if it's in last week's stories, but did you guys see that? Oh, go ahead, Andrew.
The one thing that I hope Goosen changes on Garcia. Listen, he tried to do an image thing last night, right? In one image, he wants to be like the son of God, Andre Ward, right? Oh, praying and thanking, which is great. Drop the fucking necklace and the alcohol in your hand after the fight. Then you can't play both.
Why not?
You can't have
it was
God produced wine, Andrew. I don't know what the problem is here.
That's what it was. It was the blood of Christ.
Yeah, Jesus.
Yeah.
Jesus was down with making loaves and wine, and like he's a party animal.
Eating the bread in the fucking ring too. That's gonna be his gimmick now.
They just got to straighten that out. Just straighten that out a little. Pick a side, run with it, but you can't beat both. So that
Ryan Garcia, the new SOG.
What's going to be in Spanish?
Yeah,
Spanish.
A lot.
He's going to have to cater to the Spanish audience. So it's going to be like Hijo de Dios. It has to be in Spanish.
Moving forward, we've managed to get through 4 stories in close to an hour. Keep up, kids. And these were just last week's story. We're not even on to this week where people got really batshit crazy. Let's move forward. Hey, big baby. I'm going to fight every month. Shake off the rust and get back to where I need to be. How about losing some weight? I'm going to go out on a limb. May I make a suggestion? I know it's going to be a little controversial for the Fight Net radio crowd. Clenbuterol. Oh, what? You've already done it, and that's why you lost your boxing license, and you have to fight every month?
I think he'd be banned for life, yeah.
Look, it was just a quick story because I think it's hilarious that his press photos are, like, photoshopped, because that ain't what he looked like.
Or it's an old photo. Maybe it's an old photo.
Clenbuterol body. Body by Clenbuterol. Ugh, there's another great title for the show. Body by Clenbuterol. Ugh. Oh my gosh. So many good titles for this week's show.
Hey, you should do a commercial of Canelo's training and then put body by
you know what? I should just go on Fiverr and send a bunch of fighters over who've been caught on steroids and have somebody make a 2-minute commercial for Clenbuterol.
Lee, Fight Net Radio could be the reason why this fight blows up. Tag Golovkin. He'll comment about it in the press conference. You're great, dude. Body by clenbuterol.
That's
awesome.
actually funny. Okay, that's funnier than the Doggerman thing that never got off the ground that you wouldn't let me do that I paid too much money for. But I'm telling you, doing a commercial for clenbuterol with a bunch of fighter photos would be the funniest shit ever.
Yeah. Oh, and then like Canelo can have his own brand of Clen. Oh,
clenbuterol.
Yeah.
I feel like it should have like
for all those medicine commercials, they have someone walking through the dry grass or whatever. The just put it Canelo's head on.
No, it's got to be more like the Peyton Manning, right? Chicken parm. Like you could do that with clenbuterol. Like, I feel like there's something here.
Yeah.
By the way, whoever produces clenbuterol, give me a call. Like, I'll hook you up. Well, you should be a proud sponsor of Fight Net Radio. We're not only people who talk about it. We're actually users.
Yes, we're actual clients. It's no Clen, no
life.
That?
Was that the hair club?
That's gonna be.
I'm not
Canelo's
just
brand.
the president.
No Clen, no life.
I'm a user. Like, dude, don't.
Oh yeah,
don't
like the hair club for
dude,
men.
What are you
like
doing?
I'm not just the president. I'm also
not just the president. I'm a client. Well,
yeah, it's no Clen, no life, man. That's gonna be Canelo's brand.
Call me.
No Clen, no life. That's awesome.
Oh my god, that would be the funniest endorsement
his brand.
of all time.
Yes.
How do I make this happen? Clenbuterol,
can we put
proud
that
sponsor
hat on
of Fight Net Radio.
G's head? Oh
Are
my
you a
god.
fighter who's too fat? Are you lost shape? You can't walk up a hill without getting winded. From the makers of Pfizer comes clenbuterol. An amazing steroid. Cuts weight. Increases... Like, oh my god, I can see the whole thing.
Hey, you have to have, while you're saying that, a picture of Chavez, pink underwear, eating a bowl of cereal.
Well, even Chavez
like
Jr.
this.
You don't think Chavez Jr.
You don't even have to
shit
change
into
your
his
diet.
body based
You don't
on
have
the
to
way
change
he
your diet
parties?
habits. Nothing.
I wonder if it's better in liquid and you inject it. I'm going to have to look into that because the pills are real harsh. Moving forward. Well, Jake Paul's going to fight somebody, and he's going to fight Hasim Rahman Jr. And if you're wondering, wow, that name sounds familiar. Yeah, it's his kid. We got a lot of stories about kids this week. It's kind of shocking. Like the kids are taking over boxing. Has anybody seen Hasim Rahman Jr. fight, Miguel?
I have not actually. So I'm a little concerned. I mean, it is the son of a boxer, but I mean, like we've seen many sons of boxers fail over the years. So how good he is, or does he even have the same power in the right hand that his pops have? I have not watched any of his fights. In fact, I didn't even know he had a son.
I didn't either.
So I mean, I'm a little surprised here, but
hey, look,
I have not.
If Holyfield's kid didn't actually got like at the Discovery Plus deal, I wouldn't know shit about him. He's a shitty boxer. He's not his dad. Oh my God, these guys all have daddy issues. All right, let's see who he's fought. James Mackenzie Morrison.
Now wait a minute. Hold on. Before you dissect his career, remember who he's stepping in the ring with. Okay.
Oh, it's Jake Paul, but they're not again
so
from the makers of Pfizer, clenbuterol. They're not drug testing. This isn't really sanctioned real pro fight, Andrew.
This is the most experienced boxer he's going to be facing in his career. Okay.
I completely hear you. But I'm going to stick to the fact that this kid is juicing. Like, I'll say it out loud for the room.
It doesn't. Who? Paul?
Jake Paul is a juicer.
Of course. No, I don't care about that. That they all know it. As long as they cycle right, whatever. More power to them. This is the most experienced boxer he's facing. Listen, what I'm seeing online is not only does he have a professional boxing career, but the kid fought in the amateurs, over 100 amateur bouts. That's a lot of ring
yes,
time.
He's got ring
that's
time.
also a lot of sparring and gym time.
Yeah,
so to me, Hasim Rahman Jr. knows.
He got TKO'd. He got caught. He got a
case. Yes, he did. Yes, he did. But once again, he's fighting a man that was 19-0 that night. Not Jake fucking Paul, okay, who's been a gimmick this whole time. We're like right now, Hasim Rahman Jr. needs to know the whole boxing world's on his fucking shoulders. That's what his dad needs to tell him right
Say
now.
It correctly.
Not
on
only
his jock, not on his shoulder.
Not only are you you're the son of the ex-champ who knocked out Lennox fucking Lewis. I know he got knocked out in a rematch, but that one night, that was a special night for Hasim Rahman when he KO'd Lewis the way he did.
Oh yeah.
You are an amateur boxer. And you're a professional boxer with how many professional fights does he have? Like 12? What did he have go up?
He's 12-1.
He has 12 professional fights. He has more than half the professional fights than Jake Paul does. You are way more experienced than Jake Paul. This should be a fucking knockout. What scares me is that they've already sparred. So to me, Jake Paul has already seen something that he's not nervous about, right? Because he's thinking sparring is fighting. Hasim Rahman is trying to say, look, motherfucker, we were sparring and I was being cool with you. And Jake was like, fuck that, I'm Jake Paul, trying to make a YouTube video. Now they're actually going to fight.
No, there's nothing wrong with that. Like, why do you let PBC guys off the hook?
I'm trying to get to is Hasim Rahman. Better get in there and knock him the fuck out. Show him that sparring is not fighting, okay? There's a difference when you're in there sparring a YouTube celebrity trying to make a buck than when you're the contract signed and your career elevates if you knock the other guy the fuck out. That's what he has to do now. He has to go in there and knock Jake Paul the fuck out. If you guys noticed, Fight Net Radio put this up. This is us, Fight Net Radio you're listening to.
Exclusive.
We put this shit up on our page.
Dun, dun, dun.
You know why we did?
Fight Net Radio exclusive.
It's a real boxing match. He's fighting a real professional boxer with a history in the sport. Fuck it. If Jake Paul wins, more power to him. I don't know why he's fighting a light heavyweight, saying he wants to be champ at light heavyweight. Whatever. I hope it's not a fix. But Hasim, you need to know where the whole fucking sport is on your back. You better not go in there and get fucking clowned like one of these MMA guys. That's all I'm saying.
Do you think he's going to be taking a dive?
Brought to you by Clenbuterol.
Do we think he's going to go in there and take a dive?
No.
I'm hoping.
I mean, for $1 million, I would.
What are the likelihood? Like, what's the likelihood? He hasn't made it in the pros yet. I mean, I didn't even know he was fucking fighting professionally, for fuck's sake. He's got 12 wins, 1 KO, I believe it was, on the record. Do you think he's willing to just take the payday
$1 million
and take the dive?
To hit the
game?
Yeah.
No.
It would take at least $1 million. Look,
no,
I could talk Junior into it. Junior's 20-0. Jake Paul comes along. Junior's like, I'm gonna knock the fucker out.
Yeah, and then Hasim Rahman,
but he offered you $1 million to go face first.
Exactly. His pops is in his ear saying, "Hey, son, we're fucking broke. Take the dive. Take the money."
No.
In Andrew's case, he'd never allow it for his kid.
Well, yeah.
Like it's straight up gonna be like
but
every
movie
where a guy does not take. They'll take the money and not take the dive. This is straight up like Pulp Fiction in Andrew's universe. Like, just get out of town, son.
I believe that video that was made a year ago or so, the sparring video, you guys got to look it up. I believe that video is real. And that Jake Paul thought he actually did something against a professional fighter. Because if you look at fucking Rahman goes back to the corner and he tells his trainer, he's like, man, we're fucking sparring, man. I'm trying to give him work. And you see Jake Paul just running his mouth, running it. That's when he made it shit personal. I think Hasim's going to the fucking gym, and I think he's going to try to knock this guy's head off for playing him. Remember, who else did that on the sparring video? Was it Malignaggi and
McGregor.
And the other MMA guy, McGregor?
Yeah.
Wasn't there a sparring match that got all blown out of proportion? Oh, look, he's a real boxer. He hit Paulie.
It was clipped or something. Yeah, it was like edited.
And Paulie was like, hey, motherfucker, we're sparring. We're not really fighting. I think that happened here, and I expect Hasim Rahman in, 3 weeks to go in there and show Jake Paul what a professional boxer looks like.
That was
I don't care.
Fight Net Radio hot take brought to you by Clenbuterol. How are we giving Jake Paul time? I got to be honest, I'm just jealous. All right, I went through all this shit when this shit wasn't like this. Like, you were just lucky to get more people to listen to you. That's what you'd fight for. You weren't fighting
Well, Lee,
for
you got to
money.
take steroids, though. The kid went all in, you went half, all right? If you were on Clenbuterol, you told me to run your fucking promotion for the fight.
The promotion, there might have been money involved.
That's right. Great white hype, man.
The great white hype. Everybody likes a white shaved head dude. Ask Caleb Platt. That hot take was brought to you by
put a Sons of Anarchy vest on you.
A vest, a leather vest.
I feel like I'm ripping off somebody's logo with that Clenbuterol. Like that's what is that? When you go to the movie
it sounds
theater.
Like by Menon.
It's IMAX. It's IMAX, right?
Oh, is it IMAX? I thought it was by Menon.
Or AMC. I feel like that's where I'm stealing it from. Dun 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 dun.